Hey guys, this is Nathan back at it again with another devlog video. And with me, I got the also famous The Awesome Gem, aka Topaz.
Hey, hello guys.
What's up everyone? So today's video, it's gonna be a really quick video and we're gonna show you guys how the region system works and what its function is supposed to be in our Birthright world. So with the region system, we wanted to be completely different from our competitors and how the players interact with the region system, the region mechanics. So in other very well-known RP servers, they actually have the region system set up where GMs have to come and they have to control everything. They have to make you your nation, your land. They have to make you your little subplots, and if you want to give out parts of your land to somebody else, you also have to give that away. We basically said that that was way too much work. It was very frustrating for players having to wait for staff members to come and approve their land and whatnot. So we changed it up a bit. So basically, the way the region system works now, I'd say 90% controlled by the players. 10% being, of course, the players, the nation leader, or the kingdom or the king or whoever has to go, and he has to go on the forums and he has to apply for the charter system. And with the charter system, you basically apply for a piece of land in the world. And our lord team and our global moderators will go and review your app, and we'll see if there's sufficient enough lore, sufficient enough roleplay activity and whatnot for this nation, to be able to be born. And once that's born, then once we get in game, the GM will create you your piece of a nation region, and that owner is going to own a lot of the land that comes from the region, or what like however much land that the admin or the GM or the lore team gives you. But anyhow, that's the only time you'll ever have an admin or a moderator interaction when it comes to your land. It's basically when you're first setting up your nation land. After you get your nation, the nation owner is able to go ahead and start picking parts in his nation and setting his own regions within his own nation land that was given to him from the charter, and he's able to give that off to different people. It's still going to be under his nation land, and it's just him giving off, let's say, if you guys are familiar with World Guard, it's basically having this parent region, and then in the parent region you have a lot of child regions within it. So when you're giving off, as the nation owner, when you're giving off land, you're giving them a piece of your land essentially. Let's say if you want a town there or a capital or whatnot, it's basically how it's going to work. So everything after GM giving you the nation land is all up to the players. So the different region types we have nation, which is the top of its hierarchy. It's the land that is given to you, the huge piece of land by a GM. Below nation, we have the region type we call just basically land, and that's the king or whoever the leader is able to give off land to other people. Now, the owners of those lands are able to give off plots. So within those lands, you can also have plot regions inside. So let's say if the landowner has this huge town, but he doesn't want to give everybody, doesn't want to give his members region to like build or interact with the whole town, he can just give each person a set plot. So people can have their own plot buildings and whatnot. And then for the plot owners, we actually have another region type called room, and that's basically going to be a child of the plot, and it'll always be a child of the plot. It can be a child of cannot be a child of a nation or a land, just only a plot. So when you have a room, let's say for example somebody owns a plot and it's like an inn, and within these inns you want to rent off rooms. So they can set up these room plots, and they can give those room plots to other members, and other members can only interact within those boundaries. So it's very dynamic, very unique. That it mostly relies off players, and players doing everything rather than waiting on a GM or admin to fulfill all these little things. We figured, why not just let the players do it? They can do it easily.
Oh, I will also want to add one thing. It's based off actual characters, not just players. So if you had different characters, the region permission will be based upon that, because we have our own region system since World Guard doesn't support our character system, we had to create our own region system, and that supports multiple character support, which is why we can get it as dynamic and with the freedom as we allow the players to have.
That is also correct. Yeah, it's very reliant on the character itself. So you can have multiple characters. Let's say one character being a dwarf and another character being a human. That human can have different access to different regions, while that dwarf cannot. You know, this also limits metagaming and other things that could be game breaking for roleplay. Um, so let's show you guys. Let's show you guys how it works right now. So Topaz, he's standing here in front of this red region. And within the red region is going to be our first piece of nation, we're going to call it. Let me get this little piggy out of here really quick.
Alright. So we can create a region in multiple ways. If you guys are familiar with World Edit, there's multiple different kind of selection you could do to create a region. Or just any selection of a area.
Correct. Alright, Topaz, if you want to go through and select all the different points.
Alright, so I'm going to be using the WAN for this one. Although when we do the server, it's going to be based off player position, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Or
so,
it'll be based off, player position, or maybe we'll get them into like a different state where they can just right click the different points.
exactly. So anyway, I'm going to make the selection polygon because we want to have the nation boundary be, really accurate and
very organic in its
Yep.
shape. We really
Exactly.
don't want to go with the whole cuboid generic style, because not all nations or towns or whatnot will follow a cuboid region. So we want to make sure that we're giving as much land as the player needs without having excess land that they wouldn't use typically.
Exactly. So now I'm going to go ahead and add all the points of this land. So it's the red ones, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I hit the left click first, and then I hit right click to add the second point. Right click. Point 3, 4, and I add all the points like this. And
Sweet.
alright. So once we select all the point, in order to declare that as a nation region, all I have to do is type this command /reg and then give it an ID. I'll give this nation, for example, Nor. And then I'll give the type to be a nation. And I'll make sure that I'm creating this region. And I just made a region with ID Nor. And if I enter this, it will say that I just entered the Nor region of type nation.
Of course, now all these things that you see in chat as well are mostly just for Topaz and I for debugging purposes and whatnot. When you have your own nations and your own plots and your own lands, players will be able to configure the greeting and farewell messages. So when you leave and when you exit, they can set up their own custom messages as well.
Exactly. So
as you guys see here, when he walks in, there will be the type nation region, and with nation regions, it basically acts as a imaginary border. It's only really there for when you type in like /region info or /r region I or whatnot. It will basically show you the border of your nation, and you can't build on it and you can't interact in it. It's mostly there just for the guidelines for nation owners to set off land within their region. So within your nation, let's say supposedly, we can set off this part of the nation as, land A. And then land A himself can actually make land off his land. So you can have, baronies, duchies, counties, etc., etc., etc. So, a nation owner can set that as, a land 1. He can set this off as, land 2. He can go off and be like, okay, this land right here. He can even set himself a land and be like, okay, this is actually where the capital is going to be. So, and then if you were to come here and if he were to try to make a land region out of his own zone, it would not let him. So every land that he makes, plot, and room has to be within the borders of the nation.
Yep, it has to overlap completely within the borders of the nation. Like, not a single block could be outside the actual nation. Alright, so suppose there's another nation trying to take over this land, but part of it is already being, part of the red land. The land for the Norse, which is the red one. So let me create a new region to show you guys. So region, and the ID create, and then the ID. Let's suppose this be a door, just for example, and then set land to be nation. Okay, so we'll select this right here. That's the first point, and then we have this second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. That's a lot of points. I start with this point, right? Okay.
Correct.
Alright, then we actually create this as, where is it called? Alright, now when we create this as the nation, it won't let you create the nation because it's overlapping another nation right here. It says the selection you made is overlapping Nor. And if you had more nations that are overlapping this, it would have more other nation listed over here. But since there's only one that's being overlapped with the nation, it only shows one.
Correct. Alright, and let's see here, guys. So that's basically the general idea of how the region system is going to work. Over time, me and Topaz will add more minor details. Hopefully you guys leave some questions, concerns, comments regarding the region system. Maybe we can add a couple of new things based on you guys' suggestions. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about this week is the map. So we are pushing for the map to be completely done by this weekend. So hopefully we'll have that then. Right now on the video, I'll shoot up some pictures for you guys. These are just the development photos of the map and what we have right now. With the map coming as well, that's when the builder's going to be able to start working on artifacts, the buildings, the basic kingdoms that each race will start off with. The way lore is going to be working right now is we already have this whole set origin lore of how everything came to be. The players will not know everything at the beginning of the launch. We'll be releasing little bits of information every now and then, and we want the players themselves to uncover and discover the story themselves, and make it very dynamic in that sense where it gives those players a sense of purpose, or a sense of they're achieving something greater than what their character is. So yeah, that's just a couple of things.
Oh, well, yeah, I want to include something. There's a post going on for lore AMA. You could go there and suggest anything about lores, or have any questions. You can go there and ask, and we'll put that in the description of the video. So,
alright, guys, we'll post a link down below. Narthok, our head lore at the moment, will be able to answer all your questions and concerns regarding lore. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed the region system. We'll see you guys next time. This is Nathan signing off.
And this is Topaz, the awesome gem.